Let's get right into it. So apparently, some stories, some information, some things are developing in the whole attempt on Trump's life, and apparently the Secret Service ignored some definite. I mean, it's not. This is not even like somebody just said, "Hey, there might be." Somebody was pointing at the man who was on the roof, and apparently the Secret Service and cops ignored this man's pleas. I'm going to be playing that for you. Then I'm going to be playing a little bit of the sniper and how long he took to engage. Then I'm going to be playing Biden's words. And then we're going to talk about something that Dave Smith said. Let's get into it.
Someone who was here. You weren't inside the event, nope, but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, but we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. We saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. It was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it, but,
sure. But
it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof.
Were you outside the security perimeter?
Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not at every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions, I think, that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Trump flag on the horse?
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
Nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very you know, patriotic.
But what's the significance of the...
No, he asked me if I saw a horse.
Okay. All right, well, listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that. That was a terrible thing. And you just stay safe with your family and
Gotcha.
look after yourself. Thanks for your time.
Man.
So very interesting. Very interesting. So this guy saw everything going on. He's pointing it out. They're ignoring him pretty much. The only thing, if I was going to try and speak for the Secret Service, if I was going to try and defend them or defend the police, maybe. I don't even know if I can defend Secret Service at all in this situation. The police might think, oh, he sees a Secret Service guy and he thinks it's a guy, but there's Secret Service everywhere. That's all I could think of. Other than that, if he's actually saying it to people who are Secret Service and they're ignoring him, that's crazy. Right now, people left and right, all sorts of political commentators, people all over X are calling for that gentleman, the head of the Secret Service, the head of Trump's security detail, to resign, to just step aside. I'm hoping it's not even something that gracious. I'm hoping Trump just gets rid of him. You know, something like this happens to Trump. I hope he just turns around and says, you know, who let this happen? Gets rid of everybody. That's it. I mean, honestly, Trump's a billionaire. He might want to just invest in his own Secret Service. Someone who's not attached to any agencies or to an administration, which I will not name, but you know what I mean? Maybe he just needs something completely different, because the fact that that happened is just wild. And maybe the head of the Secret Service should call it a day and resign. This is the sniper. Now, if you can see right here, I didn't know this either. This is wild. So Trump's right here, sniper right there. So when Trump gives these speeches, buddy, don't play around. Don't even try to give him a handshake. Unwarned handshake will get you dropped. Jeez, so close. So imagine how many other snipers there are. And again, even to what the other gentleman was saying, how many other snipers were there? How come they didn't see this right away? How come they didn't stop this right away? How come somebody isn't just, you know, I may sound naive. Why isn't somebody standing maybe at the entrance of this building, or if there's a ladder up the side of the building, why aren't they watching that? You know what I mean? Like, it seems like they should be on top of this a little bit more. It is Donald Trump, for God's sakes. Just watch this.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. And you know that.
So the shots rang out. They actually, something hit Trump. We're starting to get reports now that it was actually this shooter got to shoot about 5 or 6 shots. Now, what we don't see is that there are there's protective glass somewhere around him at times. I don't know if that's true. Somebody was saying that there's protective glass and that all the shots that rang out broke the glass. The glass is what actually cut Trump. And then somebody else told me, there was reports that somebody else was saying that they could see in a picture there was actually a bullet hole through Trump, but a bulletproof vest actually stopped the bullet. So I'm waiting to hear some more concrete things, hoping to hear directly from Trump's mouth what happened. That would be great. But the reason that I show this video is because people were saying he took too long to engage, because you would assume at this point, right around here, because this is where the shots ring out, right? So right around here, people are saying that this gentleman saw the sniper, right? He was engaging. He was sizing it up. So why did he take so long to just let out the one shot, which he did end up letting out at the end, and it did hit him, but he just took a little too long. So just between those two things, someone's telling you there's someone on the roof, you're ignoring it, then you have a sniper there, sees the guy, takes too long to let the shot off. You know, a lot of people are obviously going towards, you know, what was this? This seems a little too convenient. You know what I mean? And I'm completely on board with that. What is that? What just happened? They dropped the ball? Aren't these the guys that never drop the ball? They just never do at all? Right? That's why I say maybe they're attached to an administration, which we won't name. right? A sleepy administration, perhaps. An agency, perhaps. Maybe they're ex-agency guys. You know my motto, if you've watched this channel for a long time, I believe when someone says they're ex-CI or ex-FB, I think, there is no X, really. If somebody wants to tap you and say, hey, we need you for a thing, or we just need this information, or hey, can you just get to that guy and let us know? I think they'll do it. I don't think you're ever gone. I think it's like the mafia. Once you're in, you're in. That's it. You'll always have a link into them to find out information, and they'll always have a link into you for information. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. So let's hear the quick word from Biden. Honestly, people are talking about Trump not being presidential. Very much not presidential in this little briefing that he did.
Well, I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And so I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. Everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do. Okay?
Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried, President, safety? Was the security failing, Mr. President?
He knew how to get off the stage that time. He wasn't playing around. He's like, let me get out of here. He's like, let me get out of here. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Right away. So very quick. It's just very interesting, That type of violence has no place. Political violence or any kind of violence. It's just unthinkable. 100 people got shot last weekend in Chicago. So he's just very disconnected individual, disconnected from the whole event. And Dave Smith actually brought something up. There's some swear words in here, so I'm not going to actually show it to you guys, but he tweeted out, he goes, how the F can you say Trump is literally Hitler and democracy is on the line, but also wish him a speedy recovery and political violence is never acceptable? He goes on to say, if you have been saying any of that insane stuff, then I'm trying to edit myself as I read the swear words, then at least have the integrity to admit that this is the logical conclusion of your lies. Very true. Very, very true. Been comparing him to Hitler for the longest time, but also, I don't want to see anything happen to the man. What? Huh? What do you mean? Very, very interesting stuff. But I think the main thing to focus on, I just wanted to show you the Biden stuff quick. I think the main thing to focus on here is this gentleman's story. The fact that he warned them and was ignored. The fact that this gentleman took just a little too long. And listen, I'm not a sniper, so I'm not going to act like I am. I'm not going to act like I understand what they're going through, the intensity, all of that stuff. I do not know that type of thing. But it seems like there was a bit of a bit of negligence, to say the least. Let me just go here. There's a gentleman. His name's Mike Glover. He himself is a sniper. He has he went to school with Tim Kennedy. He was a Green Beret. He is incredible at what he does. Let me just read what he had to say about this thing. He said, taking out a shooter that gets 8 shots off, kills a spectator, injures another, and hits a former president in the head, which I'm not sure that happened. I just feel like if something hit your ear, in terms of hitting your ear, unless it grazed and like went past that way, if something hit your ear this way, it would go into your head, right? So I guess maybe straight on, it grazed, that kind of thing. Either way, hits a former president in the head isn't a win. There were egregious failures in coverage, capability, and protocol. Hashtag Secret Service. That's what Mike Glover had to say. He's an absolute incredible follower, definitely a solid patriot. Also, I'll play what Tim Kennedy had to say as well. He's also a sniper. No matter what you think of Tim Kennedy, he did serve his country. He does know a little bit about this type of situation, so let's hear what he has to say.
Hey, I'm going to try and break down the counter sniper from the Secret Service and kind of what happened. There's lots of different photos. There's lots of different images. There's lots of different Google Earth and Onyx photos ranging from 150 meters to 400 meters. So as I go through this, I'm going to try and explain it. I'm a Special Forces sniper. I've been in Special Forces for 20 years. I went to SOTIC, Special Operations Target and Addiction School. I was on counter sniper teams. So I'm not that I'm an expert, but I'll give you my best take that I can. All right, here's the rally. This is the Trump rally in Butler. This is one of the estimations, which is 150 yards. Here's another one that is 151 yards. This one came out to around 200 meters. And this one obviously is 500 yards. All right, so this is the counter sniper. You see that he either flinches or reacts to the gunfire before he settles in. He's able to take the shot.
Take a look what
not sure what's happening here. We see Trump flinch. And hey, I'm going to try and break down the counter sniper from the Secret Service and kind of what happened. There's lots of different photos. There's lots of different images. There's lots of different Google Earth.
So that was him just showing you the exact same video that I showed you. He didn't give us much information. I was just doing that on the fly. I figured Tim Kennedy would have something of value to say, which I won't say that wasn't of value, but there is some questions going on. I'll just read what he was actually saying in his Instagram post as well. He said lots of conflicting information. It's premature to pass judgment about incompetence or negligence. I will be the first to throw a stone when it comes to protection of a president nominee. I will wait for all the facts to come in. How did the shooter even get on the roof? Great question. Again, he was ignored onto the roof. Basically, he was just allowed onto the roof. I've been at several events for Trump, and there is no way you can get anything going that close to him. My first advanced team mission as a sniper was for President Obama in Haiti. This was not a standard operating procedure. I measured it on a ONX 150. I think he's just saying zoom of 150.1 yards. Is this complete negligence and incompetence, or was it intentional? Now, I will say this. When it comes to Tim Kennedy, I've watched many podcasts with him. The person who got him into sniper school, who got him good in sniper school, was Mike Glover. If Tim Kennedy's not an expert in this, Mike Glover certainly is, and he is saying it is 100% egregious failures in coverage, capability, and protocol. So, out of the two, when I'm going to go for somebody's expertise, I'm going to go with Mike Glover. Also, he's not that Tim Kennedy's not a straight shooter, but Mike Glover is, and no pun intended either, because they're snipers, but Mike Glover is a very straight shooter. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to bring you that information. It looks weird. It looks weird. I think Trump needs a new detail. That's what I think. I think he needs some new people that are a little more squared away, that have no attachments to any agencies or administrations. And I think he can afford it. I think this would be the thing to spend money on. He's already had to spend money on fines and legal fees and all sorts of nonsense that they've been trying to throw at him. I think this would be the best use of the newly established billions that he just jumped into. And also, a question that's been floating around, and I'll leave you with this question, is I think, or maybe a statement, a lot of people are saying, I think this is about time that Joe Biden realized that he has to give RFK Jr. Secret Service protection. You know, somebody just tried to do this to Trump. What's to stop them from doing this to Kennedy? Kennedy doesn't have all that much money. He has security, but he needs Secret Service protection as well. He still hasn't gotten it. We're 100 some odd days away from the election. Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should do that for the man that you've had a relationship with, him and his family, for the past 30 years. Maybe you should do that for the guy whose father you plagiarized when you were first running for president all those decades ago. Maybe. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Other than that, I'm out.